Hello and welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about the CSS, but it would be the inline CSS. However, we won't write that inline, but it would be the inline CSS. So what we are going to do, something very interesting. Actually, we are going outside of the return. Here we are first of all creating a variable like var, and here the styles, this is a variable name. It can be anything, not necessarily the style, but anything you can add here outside of the style or something. Okay, then equal sign, and then the curly braces, and I'm going inside the curly braces, and here they're having some problem. They're having the problem that it compiled with the warning that the styles is assigned a value but never used. So we should not have the unused variables. That's very cool that it compiled it with the warning. So if I go a little up, so the server is ultimately not running at this point because it got a warning that we have this issue. Anyway, so what more we need to do is, first of all, I'm deleting that, going down a little right here. So how to write the styles inside this style. So there is a unique way. If you want to add the color, you can add the color like that. The value of the color should be in single or double quotes. So I'm adding the value right here like blue and adding a comma and going down. Now if I'm gonna use something which has two words here, so I have to use the camel style again. For example, the font size, okay, and here I'm gonna add the value for the font size. I'm gonna write the 30. Okay, I'm not gonna put this 30px, just the 30, and it would behave like an integer. Okay, so if I need to add another value, I need to add a comma right there, and I need to go down, and I can add some more values. You can use almost every CSS property here, but you should maintain one thing, that if the property has single word, then it should be in all small letters. If it has two words, then instead of using the hyphen between the two values, we should follow this way, that the first word's first letter must be small, the second word's first letter must be capital, the camel style, the font style, and one more we should apply by here, the background color. You need to be very careful about the case sensitivity. If you're using the B small, C capital, so you just cannot use this O as capital, it would be an error. Anyway, here I'm adding some value, and the value I'm adding right here is something orange, and I do not need to add a comma again because I do not want to add more values. Here I was adding the values, so I have added the comma, not here, because this is the last one. Okay, now I need to apply this styles somewhere. I should write these styles one because I can have more styles. Now I'm applying this styles here to the heading. Okay, I'm gonna apply this to the heading. Now style attribute, and the way of an attribute like that. And now I'm gonna use one more technique, and I'm gonna teach you that technique later, the curly braces. And inside the curly braces, as you know, that we can apply the JavaScript expression. So I'm using the style one. Actually, I need to update the spelling style, and here this should not be the styles but style one. So style one right here. And one more little issue, that because we are using it as the JS expression, so we just cannot use the double quotes here. So the style are directly applied like that. Style one is here, and this variable has an object which has data like the color, blue, and etc like that. These properties are actually the CSS properties. The CSS object of the JavaScript is actually active here. Now I need to go to the browser to check the result, and here is the browser. You can see that the heading is blue colored, and the background is the orange, and the font size is big. If I check this in the inspect element, so all I need to go here, and I am able to see the font size is 30, the background color is orange, and the color is blue. So I think we can now understand here. If I see even here that the color style, color blue, font size, you can see that the font size is not in the same way as it was. The font size is, you can see that it has hyphen, so it's definitely compiled. The JSX compiler made it the font hyphen size instead of the camel style of font size. Then the 30, and then the background color is working in the same mode. So if I just press Ctrl and U, I should see this in a different scenario. And here you can see that is still no sign of any texturing because it is JavaScript, so it's client side. Anyway, this is awesome. A few things while working on these styles, you need to know that the camel style should not be very surprising for you, because if you're coming from the JS background, you must know that in the DOM, when we work with the JS DOM, the style object does the same. So it's actually using the JS style object for the sake of the CSS. So it is all fine. It's absolutely the JS style where we do like that. Anyway, the second important thing is here, as we use the font size and we put it to 30, so you do not need to be very careful, or you do not need to be worried about the PX, because the React will automatically make it the PX. It's again, the JavaScript stuff, so it's fine. You should not need to add the double quotes and the PX here. You just leave it as the integer. It would work fine. So anyway, these are the points you should know when working with these styles, and try more and more styles on different elements, and I hope you would not be bored. Now we're going to talk about why this curly braces worked here. So in the next video we're going to talk about this. Till then, stay tuned.